Be right back. Should you bring me the? No, I'm good. Just much smaller folding table. All right, just making some coffee, and we'll get back into it. Making some cafferino. Coffee. And today, doing a lot of retopology and a lot of optimization. We actually do need to go through quite a few of these and optimize them. I think the hat's probably the best. So let's start here. We're basically going to select the corresponding loops that we're also going to dissolve, except that one I don't want to dissolve. In fact, these ones I think I'll leave alone. It's too much. Because with the hair, we're well into the 70,000s in terms of vertex count, but it's really the hair that needs to be optimized the most. I guess I could clean up some of this. No, that's really 2,000. It's not too bad. These ones pretty optimized as well. Bum, bum, bum. Okay. So yeah, let's just focus on the hair this morning. Get this set up. This will need the body too. No, not the skull. Topo. Bam, bam. That way I can see what pieces are actually not seen, right? I can go in and get rid of elements that are far away from the body. Or I did it. Make a backup copy. Pre-hair optimization. Save. Looks like there's quite a bit we can do in here. But I am going to go get my coffee. I'll be right back. Should be just a minute or two. BRB. Oh, I forgot my. Back and forth, back and forth. All right, finally got all my stuff. Can't work without my coffee. It's nice to have something warm next to you. All right, so we're gonna call this one. This collection we have will be Sculpt Hair, and we will duplicate the collection. Create a retopo hair. Turn off the sculpt, and we only want to do our edits to the retopologized version. Good morning, Sky. Hello, welcome. Hello, hello. We're just slowly cleaning up our objects here, our files. Getting things optimized. Our hair is too dense. Hair is too dense. Especially all the hidden stuff we've got here. Clean it up. Haircut. Yeah, that's fine. May move that one actually. Let's see really quick. Turn on the sculpt as well. That's a sculpt there. Much advanced. Nice. Well, thank you. Hope you're having a good start to your day. Boom, 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 boom. I see. It's because I have that as my active selection. Let me grab this, please. Yeah, there we go. Good morning, Jay. Hello. Loving when the sun is showing up. Well, good. Loving when the sun is showing up. Should be both of them. It is both of them. Just making sure there's no gaps in the hair before we continue. Oh, that should be good. Okay. Perfect. I think I'll do one more strand here. Oops. Both of them. One more strand here. Okay. No. We'll do it this way. Take these ones. And just kind of scoot them over. Doesn't work either. Such a handsome man on screen, and you're okay too, Sam. Hey there, Zoom. Thank you. Good morning, good morning. Hello, hello. I hope you're having a good start to your day. Put that over there. All right, that looks better. Kind of close it up. Hard to grab these. Yeah, that looks a lot better. My day is really weird. Uh-oh. In a good way or a bad way? I suppose it's the week. You're probably already racing towards your weekend at this point. Almost, almost. Almost. Okay, much better. Now, we can hide the sculpt. I've had so much trouble getting some work done this week. That's just how it goes sometimes. Oh, balls. What happened to this guy? Got destroyed. Gotcha. So I'll duplicate this one and send it over to Jetfire. There we go. Got a huge. Well, I wish you well, Sky. Certainly, just working together, collaborating together here. We got our little work gang, work crew. Got a huge progress on my model. I cut it in half and mirrored it for symmetry. Also reduced from 120K to 57. Wow, that's quite a reduction. That's amazing. I had a meeting with a client. They were angry, but at the end of it, they realized all the things they're mad about were the fault of one of their employees, and they said sorry, that they had to have a meeting internally. Been the most awkward morning of my life. Well, at least the client came around. That's probably the best outcome out of that entire situation. Pretty rare too. Customer service stuff like that always sucks. Well, that employee will find the outcome less than ideal, I think, but perhaps deservedly so. You don't know if they're just straight up lying to their boss or something. Consequences of my actions? No. Either way, it sounds like you handled it very well. So, kudos to you. Yeah, we'll do that. Would have preferred if they just kept it cool a bit more. I'd hate if that was my boss, to be honest. Oh yeah, had plenty of jobs like those. Or maybe I bring it out in my bosses. A bit of a contrarian sometimes, you know? Cool. Actually, do I want to delete that much? That might be... I don't want to delete anything outside the skull. So let's select the body as well. Just isolate this selection. We'll have to get a little bit more specific now. That's fine with me. Right on the surface. But on the positive side of things, I've had a lovely lunch, met an old schoolmate too. Oh, that's exciting. Interesting. Oh wow, this one can just like straight up be deleted. My goodness, it's just floating in here. Is that part of the ear? Funny. I didn't expect that. All right. Is your city small or large? Would it be surprising to meet an old schoolmate of yours, or perhaps you're not even living in your childhood city? And all the bangs. Oh, there's so many. So many. So many. Technically, it's hidden. That's a tough one. I might be able to get away with deleting the bottom of this hair strand. But is that necessary now? How much did we get rid of? Not too much. Ah, no, this isn't America. I met some old friends every now and then again. Still fun when you do that. Absolutely. Absolutely. Oh, I grew up in a very small town. So it is fun. It is kind of interesting to think about. Um, Now having moved away from there, it's probably like, once I go back and visit, probably won't capture anyone that much, but it's just how it is. All right, the chains probably also a very good source of optimization. So let's hop on those. We could probably just collapse these. Got rid of 2K, just doing that. It doesn't look too different. Maybe do the whole thing square. Maybe. I think I have to. Just a lot of chain. Yeah, that already got rid of so much. That was almost 6,000. Just those. Just made that little edit. Petition. Doop, doop, doop. Center. Oh. Yeah, I'm clicking. I'm clicking. Oh my goodness. I was playing. I was doing my Dungeon Dragon game yesterday, and holy crap, Roll20 is like just a piece of shit program. I, I've been so upset with it. Maybe that's a little too acerbic, but I've been so upset trying to work with it. I was really struggling last night to get it to do anything useful. So, these ones I am gonna keep as they were. Just the ones right on the chest. But if anyone has any recommendations for alternatives to Roll20, I would love to hear that. Because I need I need to move past or beyond that one. It really upset me. I was so angry. It's just not working. Angry. That's really dense right there. I might be able to get away with collapsing some of these edges. Maybe as it reaches this, we could collapse. We're really close, actually, so maybe that's not necessary. Just find some smaller things. These do have a little bevel on them. These right there. So we'll go ahead and take these. These and collapse. And then we'll just kind of increase the thickness just a little. Good work. Perfect, yeah, that was already more than enough right there. So I'm going to do the same with the collar. They have a little bit more wiggle room. Boop. And a little bit bigger. Okay. Nice. All right. So we're still missing a few things. The horns are the main one. I can probably still do a decent amount of cleanup on the hair. We're going to go back to it one more time. And we'll approach it a little simpler. I'm just going to dissolve every other like this. Okay, so let's use the action recorder for this because I'm going to be doing it so much. So we'll enter edit mode. We'll make a new action. Record. The first things first, we select an edge. And then we go edge, or no, select loops, edge loops, ring. So it gets us this selection. And then we'll do select, check, or deselect. Get the one, then select edge loops, and edge. Is dissolve not in here? Delete. Dissolve edges. Okay, stop. So save. Click, play. Might do this one twice. Actually, no, I'm gonna undo. And I'm gonna start with the bottom because these ones definitely don't need this resolution, and they're so small. Man, I love the action recorder. That saved, I mean, just the amount of times I would have to press the same buttons. Okay. Easy peasy. Okay. Some of these longer ones I'm gonna leave alone. This one's too much. Better. All right. Feels good. Good mix of different types. And how much of an impact did that make? Pretty good. Okay, yeah, that was awesome. All right, I should have just made that command to start with. would have been a little less stressful. I think this one as well. Yeah. This one too. They're basically just straight lines, so it needs. Really, you only want to retain the resolutions of the ones that curve the most. All right, nice, very satisfying. Now we can look at the horns. So sculpt body, select these, duplicate, and send one to Retopo body. Let me do that really quick. And I would just like to see, just double check I have the hair and head placement correct. Because what we're going to do is basically turn off some of these chunks of hair. Yeah, probably like that. But like a little bit up the chain here. So turn off here. And that way, it just looks like the horns are there intentionally. But I would also like to look at, we'll check what this looks like without horns. Yeah, something like that. Just a little bit of rounding, I feel like, I don't know, puts it into the head. Yeah, let's double check that I didn't mess up the hat. A little bit. Here. Ahoy, Era. Hello, welcome. Yeah. Okay. All right, that feels like it's in the right spot now. Good. Now we can take the horn, duplicado, send over to Retopo body. These ones need to actually add to our map here. Should be pretty straightforward to do. We'll mesh it. Yeah, mesh it. That's a lot. Oh, never seen that before. Oh, also not what I want. Okay. Right, of course. I have the awesome loop tools. Should have done that on the other one though. That's fine. Maybe we'll get rid of every other one here. I feel like that's pretty good. Do that. Do. Flip. Cool. And then we'll take this, mark the seam, take the little tippy, merge it at center. Go. Mirror mod. Good. Only thing we're missing is the tail. Which I also need to add to the body. Say I'm the biggest fan of that. I'd rather do this, apply that, and then take the edges here. My lord! My lord. My lord. And we'll switch this to percent of the segments. Something like this. Feels really even. 33, I think. And we'll just increase. Or for each segment we add, the more this percentage changes. I guess this would be 50. So around there. Let me think about that. So I guess it's half of this, so one more unit. So there's actually, when it says 5, this is, when I think of it, like 6 segments. So 40%, because it's, anyway. That looks good. I'll just add a few cuts here. Awesome. I think that looks great. Hello, Brian Russell. Welcome back. You baking the high poly to the low poly today. That is the plan. I think we'll be able to get to that at least in the afternoon. We still need to finish the UV unwrapping and set everything up for the baking, which can take a little bit of time, but it shouldn't be too bad. Shouldn't be too bad. We did just finish all the low poly items. Pretty sure. Nope, no. We forgot the little tie off here. That. Almost there. So sculpt. And I want these objects. I'm just going to duplicate them and send them over to Retopo. Loading. Bam. Then we can take them, mesh them, combine them, hit them with the multi-res, unsubdivide. Oh. JK. These ones should be. Oh, is it because I use the solidify? Yeah. Okay, never mind. Let's just back up to here. Because of the solidify, the subdivision doesn't work. Expected. Gotcha. So we add the multi-res now, then we unsubdivide. Yeah. And apply. Apply and unsubdivide. Or multi-res. Subdivide twice. I think I could go there. Yeah, that looks good. The amount of vertices and faces you have would break my computer. Hello, Victoria Belarus. Welcome. Hey, maybe a stupid question, but what does baking do? I know it's there, but I don't really understand what it does. So, sorry for my internet. It's gotten really poor. So hopefully this comes through well. But basically, baking is a way to it gives the Avia prop for cake. It's basically just optimization. So when you have your sculpture, it's just so much denser than, let's say, the retopo here. Oops, retopo body. If we compare them, you can just see the difference in density. So we have to create an more optimized version, because it's just the amount of geometry so extreme. Like we're at 6 million basically. So that's the first step. You can optimize your geometry by making a simpler version of it, right? Well, it turns out you can actually do a very similar thing with textures too. So if I go out of wireframe here, the like normals or the surface information here, which you see is like lost on this character, I can draw here. So we have these details and those don't show up, but we can turn it into a texture. So by overlaying the low poly onto the high poly, just like you render out a scene in a CG program where you like simulate light bouncing off of it or sample it, you can do that with a mesh. So basically, the low poly looks at the high poly, takes the details and bakes that into a texture that you can then apply back onto your low poly version. So that's a general idea. And it does work for Android as well. A lot of times when I'm making a Quest or fallback version, taking the time to utilize your baked maps saves a ton of time and speeds things up. But hopefully that makes sense, Victoria. Definitely feel free to ask any other questions. That being said, the only other thing about baking is there are other types of baking and there's other things you can bake. So sometimes when people say baking, they're not referring to the exact same thing, but they are almost always referring to this process of optimization where you do a lot of upfront work so you can run things faster later, downstream. Because you can bake animations, you can bake, anyway, tons of stuff. Right. My ball. Now we want to go and lay out the body completely because we added the horns and tail, which are not UV mapped yet. And we'll go like this. Pin and streamed. So, easy. Thanks so much. Yeah, you explained it really nicely. Well, good. Good. I'm happy to hear that. Yeah, it's kind of it's still funky and can be unintuitive some ways, but I will be going through pretty much the full process today, and this live stream will be saved. So if you ever are looking to review how it's done, you can always come back to check it out. Body, bam. Do you explain that better than anyone I've ever seen explain it? Oh, thank you. Maybe I'll use that as a part of my tutorial. Because I've been thinking of doing a tutorial on retopology for quite a while at this point. I always talk about it, but I never do it. But if I do it, I'll probably use that explanation. We're going to add a shrink wrap to this and go to sculpt again. Oh, see, there is no tail tip. Mm-hmm. Whoa. I see. Okay. Grid fill. Boom. Rotate it once. That should work okay, at least for our normal baking. Turn it up one layer. Boom. So we get this nice little curved tip. The most important. And I'll just call it, or I should say sculpt. Then turn that off. Go back to the other tail version we were making. We'll call this Retopo tail. Bam. And shrink wrap to our sculpt tail. Bam. Now we know if it's really working. It should be above the surface. And I think we'll want just a little bit more resolution here. More tail! More! Kylo Ren. I've worked on optimizing my avatars, but I always lost on this part. So your explanation really does help, and now I know what to look into. Good. Yeah, I think digital art just suffers from the problem of being very unintuitive. So a lot of times you have to find some proper explanation or some insight in order to know how to take advantage of certain things. Why does that look so weird? There. I want these ones. 3. Bam. And I guess that was right. Boom. Merge. Oh, I see. Yeah, it looks like it's indented, but it's just doing that. No, that actually is breaking. Cool. That's better. 3, 4. I'm here because I've watched so many videos and I still don't get how to bake high poly to low poly meshes. I am going to be using Substance Painter. You can bake things in Blender. I do prefer I can't see shit. Oh. Things and stuff. I keep losing track of my train of thought. Bake things and stuff. I know how to bake multiple objects to one texture, but cage and extrusion and all that crazy stuff I don't get. Gotcha. Yeah, I always make cages, and it's with Blender. It's a pretty straightforward process because some of the modifiers just fit the bill. And worst case scenario, you can temporarily make a shape key to adjust things. But basically with a cage, you're creating a mesh that shares the same UV map. Has to be the exact same UV map, and you're just offsetting it. So with a cage, you're just telling the so you make a cage and you want it to be above the surface, but not clipping, and it tells Substance where it can sample, where it starts the sample. So it goes from where your cage is, and it looks at the high poly, gets the information, and then of course sends that back to a texture file. And so I usually use a displacement modifier, so I can just kind of create a puffy version. I have so much love-hate relationship with Substance Painter. I love it now, but I know what you mean. Only now. Blood, sweat, and tears. Okay. And one more time, just check this vertex count. May have pushed it past the limit. Nope, we're still good. Awesome. Okay. Alrighty then. Oop. Take all these back to our UV editing. The tail should be pretty easy to do. I'm excited for that step. I have Substance Painter, but I don't use it. So they're going to teach me. Well, good. Good. I can't zoom in. Change the view. A bit more. Boom. Boom. And mark. Seam. No, I just needed one here. Clear seam. Like this. Unwrap. Then pin and straighten. Tail done. I hate it because of other people. If I get one more dancer avatar to fix that has blob of colors as the texture because people don't know how to properly save it, properly, I will rage. 8K decal for a blush. Oh, perfect. I think we can just fit this right in. Nice. That actually worked out real well. And I bet the horn can go right here. Boom. Easy. Easy. Actually, that's a lie. I have teeth that I added to this, and I probably just laid it right on top of them. Yep. Yes, indeedy. All right, that's okay. We'll just hit it with the Packmaster. Watching you work is so therapeutic as you have nice and clean work. Well, thank you. Thank you. I can be a little OCD with it sometimes, but I feel like it's worked out for me. I think. The voices tell me it's worth it. Alright, so for this one, we'll have to apply the solidify. Then go to the single chain. It's so skewed for what it actually looks like. So we'll cut it there. Then just kind of have it hinge open. Bam. And I'll just project from view to start with. Now just pin these. Unwrap again. We start with something that's a little square. 0.2. Okay. All right, that looks pretty clean. Bam. So these will be part of the clothing material. Oh, we need to do this one as well. Let's do the same thing. Oh, wow. Got a little fucked up right there. That's okay. Do a quick fix. We're gonna cut here. Delete this side. Delete this side. Add a mirror to the very top. There we go. Apply that. All right. Dissolve this. Dissolve this. Okay. That's what it should be. And we'll do the same kind of deal that we did on the other one. At the bottom, except for one side. So we get kind of a hinge. That should work. Then we'll project this. Pin it. Select the whole thing. And unwrap. All right. Okie doke. Now, clothing. Bring that back. Give it the right material. Look at that. Nice repeating texture. If you create a new UV map, you can reposition where you want the UV map to look like and then bake it to a new texture. Each object needs to have the same name as the UV map. That was for Victoria. I know you probably know this. Oh, gotcha. Which object has the same name as the UV map? As in, your UV maps need to be named the same? Yeah. Oh, perhaps I missed a message. The last message I had Victoria was just she said the therapeutic comment. Perhaps someone did not come in on my side. Okay, it looks like pretty much everything's already unwrapped, so just these gems. These will be fun actually. It'll be fun once I turn the decimate back on and apply it. Much more manageable. So I'm basically just gonna find a cut here to here. Oh, sorry, I got a phone call and paused your live, so I'm responding to something that you said a while ago. Oh, okay. Gotcha. That's my last message. I'm just watching work now. Okay, okay, gotcha. Yeah, I was wasn't sure if I had missed something there. Boop, 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 boop. And we'll do a seam there. Boom, boom, boom. And I think that'll work. These will be kind of weird when they unfold. Alright. I guess that works. Looks like there's some fucked up ones in here. I'm gonna do this. I grab these and then just delete those faces. And then I want to know if I left any gaps, non-manifold or something like that. So we'll say select boundary loop. And we do have a few gaps here. Just a selection of 4. Yeah, okay. And then we'll just triangulate it. No. All right. Boundary loop. Fill. Perfect. Anything else? No. All right. Why? Okay, well, those are the ones I just added, so. Doop, doop, doop. Oh, I see. It's literally is cutting it out. Okay, clear that seam right there. And then I suppose the same thing must be happening on this one. Yep. There we go. All right. And I'm just gonna feel like messing around with those too much. Just gonna leave them like that. It'd be kind of cool to see how they come out, though. I'm very intrigued. All right. Now, that's all the clothing. I think we could also get the scroll and at least the scroll included on this. Do I also want to give the dagger? Let's just give it a shot. Let's see what it looks like. I still have to unwrap them all anyway. Yeah, we'll do the dagger right now. Should be pretty simple. Boundary loop. Row the selection and then invert it in it. Unwrap. I think I'm going to lose a lot of information there. I'm just going to see what it does when it does that. All right, that looks great. Good enough. Yeah, as long as it's all laying flat. And it definitely is. That looks great. Awesome. How about these guys? How about these little dudes right here? Oh, sorry. How many different textures can you have with PC? So your main concern with textures is mostly how much it takes up in your memory. There's not necessarily a limit to how many textures you can have, like the individual textures, but how much space they take up in memory. So my favorite VRChat document right here is the performance system. I'm gonna go ahead and link that there. But it goes over the texture memory right here. So this is how much memory you can have. And there's ways to simplify this. You can change the size of textures if you want a lower count. There's different types of compression. But yeah, so this is the general limit right there. And they just added some other metric to the ranking system. I can't remember what it is, but how big is your avatar usually in polys and textures? I'm usually shooting for the medium rank for my commissions. Generally, that's what people prefer. A lot of times people don't mind a very poor avatar. That's when you push past the limits here. Yeah, but I'm usually shooting for medium. I feel like that gives me the most leverage and ability to kind of push the look of the character without compromising features and things like that. But if you add things like face tracking, and there's a lot of common features that people are adding to avatars that kind of immediately put it in the very poor ranking if you're not being careful. Like maybe not face tracking, but anyway, it's not a bad thing to have very poor avatars. It just means you can only have you can have, it requires less people in the server you're in. So there's kind of another compromise there where it's like they're deriving these values from like estimating that in most servers there's going to be like 60 people or something. So if there's just like 2 people or 4 people in a room, having very poor avatars usually isn't an issue. Usually. I mean, people can make crasher avatars. That's definitely a thing. So there's exceptions. And mark seam. When it comes to the rating, how important are secondary avatar parts, things like the knife, scroll, and hat? Do they have a big impact on the score, or is it mainly the big body that determines it? They all are on the same playing field. So the mesh for the dagger, if I attach it to a bone, technically it would be part of the body. But it still contributes to that total triangle count. So each one just adds to it, right? So you have your body, which is a certain amount, your dagger is a certain amount, and that adds to the total score. Usually isn't too bad. Right. I've seen poor rated avatars look amazing, so yeah, it's hard to find that range of where you are limited. And there is like, as more and more people kind of become involved with this work, I think we'll see a lot of better practices come about, because it's becoming clear that some people will make rings with like 6 level subdivisions because it looks really good in Blender, not understanding that that is just directly contributing to how slow it'll run for people, or yourself. But I think that's it's interesting because VR chat's pretty much the only community I can think of where there's such a direct almost necessity to learn 3D modeling. Like you know, if you want the things to work right, or just to be able to use things, sometimes you kind of have to learn a little bit of Unity or Blender or this and that. It's kind of wild. 2.5 million polys, let's go! You make this pretty stuff in medium. I'm impressed. Almost every avatar I have is very poor, and one of the really poor avatars I've seen was like 8 million polys. My goodness. 8 million. That's basically just a crasher avatar at that point. Well, thank you. I do take a lot of pride in optimizing. Also, it just triggers my OCD, so, you know, can't really help myself. Oh, I can optimize that. Well, I will then. I don't want the body in this. I just want these items. All right, what are we missing? There's clearly some items that haven't been unwrapped yet. Those are good. Those are good. Good, 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 good. Good. What is this then? Oh, okay. Got those gems up there, and that's it. Awesome. It's the biggest plus to be commissioning Sam for me. He makes amazing products that are always nicely rated. Well, thank you, Sam. Thank you. He had to bring me the bad news yesterday. This Avi might in fact become medium rated. The whore. Should let me make you a VR chat world to showcase some of your work, dude. Well, thank you, Brian. I appreciate that. I do want to make a little community world. And since it's Friday, I may spend a chunk of the afternoon doing that. But I appreciate that. Maybe we'll try to do something collaborative then. I'd be down to throw up like a GitHub or something and get like people able to contribute to the world. It'd be fun to do like a weekly showcase or something of people's work. I made this week, or this is my sketchbook for the week. I do really love getting people excited about making things because I think it's great. I'll be the VR Bob Ross. That's my goal. Well, I also want to make products and stuff too, so we'll see. Okay, no faces, and all right, these should unwrap well. Yes, they did. Good. Hello, Gamer Headshot. Welcome back. Hello. Oh no, you're gonna be optimized and so good looking. My God, he's so optimized. Look at that vertex count. Whoa. Enter world, you will see you and all avatars worship you as you float in the sky with angel wings. Ah. Puny mortals, witness. UV sync. And how's your day going, gamer? What are you up to? Oh, we're still missing some. What the heck? Oh, yeah, these guys. Actually, we will have to apply the solidify and then cut them open. So mesh. Cut them open. Yeah, that should work nicely. Just make them into squares. My main method of working. I want it to be a square. The robot Sam made me was especially perfect. I have one version that has a grabbable battery which hurts the rating, but the version without it is rated good. Some of my friends were flabbergasted that it could even be done. Oh, cool. One of them was amazed so they commissioned themselves. Oh, look, who is that? Who was that? I didn't know that. That makes me feel happy. Bless their heart. Bless their heart. Do do do. Do 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 do. Oh, my foot's cramping. That was Dark the Mouse Boy with his huge ears. Oh, that's right. Yes. Yeah, the Quest version. That's good to hear. That was a fun one to make. Wild to think it like doesn't feel that long ago, but it's been some time. Oh, there's still one more thing. What is this? Oh, is this? Ah, little box. Hmm. These two. Bam. Hmm. He's very happy with his Abby too. Good, good. I have a more demented mind, I think. My last Abby was Dr. Phil butt naked. Hey, I'm all for it. Meme avatars are the best. Gives me hope. Excuse me. Point two. Bam. Then and it that way as well. Man. Belly couldn't have his own Abby as many of his friends are Quest users, and you cannot have a cool Abby for Quest. That is a little rough on Quest users. But I'm very interested in the headset Meta's about to offer. I'd be interested to know if they're going to do some sort of cloud compute headset. They've talked about that in the past. That could be a very interesting option for VR chat users. It's like Stadia, but for Quest. Maybe not the best comparison, but I made a mean Abby that's just broken stickman with head as paper that said, "Damn, imagine being on Quest. It is my fallback, Abby." Amazing. What is this right here? All these little fun surprises on my model. Ah! And I'll select these and say average island scale. And I think we can just kind of make a square here. Something like that. That's probably the group we'll go with for the arm. Oh, from what I did here, Meta is moving away from VR stuff and putting more effort into AI. Yeah, well, I think every tech company kind of has to do that. I don't think they're giving up on. I think if they're set on AI, they will also want to be set on VR. I don't think they'll walk away from VR at all, because Zuckerberg really wants a hardware platform really badly, because Apple screwed him and Facebook. Basically destroyed their business overnight. Anyway, interesting stuff. Actually, yeah, we can definitely include the dagger in here. Heck yeah. That looks good. Imagine the two will go hand in hand. I think so. I think so. And Zuckerberg, despite his faults, you know, being an asshole, he definitely is set on becoming the antagonist from Ready Player One. And making VR. VR will be the final form, or at least the closest step to the final form of computer interfaces. In my opinion. Especially once it's a brain interface. I suppose that's what I really mean by VR. Full VR, full dive VR. Anyway, I could go on. I usually am ranting about AI or VR in some way or another. I find a way. Getting closer to the dream realm, absolutely. I do think it's kind of useful to have the perspective of like a spirit realm for the internet, where there's a lot of good things and a lot of things to watch out for. You know, like Avatar, The Last Airbender, that kind of spirit realm. Face Stealer, it's kind of a literal thing in VR already. Expanding the mind. Time to stand up. Time to stand up. Ugh, I want a donut. I want a donut so bad. It's your fault, Joe. Yeah. Ooh. Should have taken some home yesterday. But then I went eating them right there. I get it. I read books about lucid dreaming and it's mind blowing, literally. Oh, interesting. I've never really given uh, lucid dreaming a fair shot. But I do think that with the low quality sleep I have, I at least do it on accident frequently. Do you also remake already existing stuff? Example, clothes from LV, bring from Cartier, or is there some reason not to do that? I generally prefer doing from scratch avatars just because it's a little bit more consistent. I kind of prefer having like a longer project. Um, but edits are certainly doable. Um, just depends on the nature of the project. The skill that can be improved. Okay, interesting. Yeah, I think sleeping with an EEG headset has the potential to really make lucid dreaming uh, possible. Do you dream in 3D? Hello, welcome. Good morning. I do dream in 3D. I actually dream of looking at things like this in this view quite frequently of topology. All these square surfaces like this. I dream of this quite frequently. uh, good thing, bad thing. I think it's good. I think it's actually helped my drawing a lot recently. Yeah, like how to the form of things, the surface of things. I dream about a lot. Um, but good morning. Hey there. How's your morning going, Dad? All right, look at that. Okay, and what was our count again? Yeah, we're doing really good. Great, good, good. Are you guys getting a lot of rain right now? I've heard that there's like, you guys are about to get a ton of rain in California. Dun, dun, dun. Um, Tomorrow, and we have a local beer fest to attend. Oh, exciting! Nothing like a cold beer and a cold day to make you pee. To instill that deep sense of needing to pee in you. I have a project I've been meaning to reach out to you about, Dad. Um, I've been thinking of I'll have to describe it more, but I've been thinking a lot about making little autonomous robots, and I want to get your opinion on some making motors and stuff. We will wear our galoshes. Double up on socks. We getting baked. Yeah, we are getting baked. It's true. We're baking this character today. That's what you mean, right, Kai? Hey there, Kai. Hello, hello. Our vest is messed up right here. Got a little bit of clipping. Oh, we still got a shrink wrap applied. Yeah, I've been thinking a lot about autonomous systems and how to like utilize them. And I thought of a project that I really, really want to play around with. Goal is to make general purpose robots. I'm more of a hobbyist in context, but you know, who knows? Who knows? All right, I think I have a general understanding of what pieces are where. Okay. So the chains, we still have a little something here. That's, yeah. Motors, controllers, gearing stuff? Yeah. I want to make like a little very simple. I made a little mock-up of it. So it'd be like a little robot with wheels. So little robot with wheels here side, and it would have these ports. These are the X's here, or maybe joints. Maybe would be a better way to describe it, but it attached to other things like that. You could connect things to it. But I've just been really enticed by the idea of trying to build like some autonomous system. So like this one, you could attach different things to the top of it or the sides of it, in order to like, you know, if you wanted like a robot arm on the top, boop, boop, you know, something like this, little arm. That's an arm, okay? Anyway, right now it's all hypothetical, but I've been really enjoying toying around with the idea. And I think once I'm in my new place, I will have a lot of access to space to actually experiment with that and experiment. Anyway, that's the thought. Execution, a more challenging concern. And straighten again. I'm train bound. We'll be back soon. Sounds good, Zoom. Enjoy your train ride, and we'll catch you later. Hopefully, we're baking Lorian at that point. Okay. So we generally want stuff to be roughly the same resolution here. Some things will have a bit more detail, like the dagger. The hat's pretty big. We want to decrease the inside resolution. The brim should be pretty big. Both brims. Looks like a platform that has many options. Robot Legos. Exactly. Yeah, I figure it's like, if we do start getting even some piece of autonomous systems, like what is a really good general robot platform, right? It's like, you wouldn't want something that you specialize too much where it can't apply or generalize to other tasks. But I figured if you had like 8 of these little wheels, you know, you could like join some of them together when you need more platform space for larger tools or something, and then separate them. Um, eventually they could perhaps do something like that themselves, but uh, anyway, it's fun to think about. I think it'd be cool to like you can imagine just putting like a shovel blade tool on one end, and all they do is they drive over and scoop stuff up endlessly until you excavate some space or something. Anyway, it seems doable, and it'll be easier, more and more doable as multiple aspects of AI get a lot better. And more than anything, I really think that it's time to get prepared for those kinds of technologies, you know? Gotcha, that's right there. Yeah, we'll just include that one with it. Quantum computers are going to revolutionize AI. I think they will definitely have a powerful impact. I mean, AI itself is still already moving faster than Moore's law, even without quantum computing. Be interesting to see if and when those two worlds collide. Well, I don't know if you all saw that the NVIDIA chip that came out recently, the Blackwell. The increase in compute power between the previous version. Well, he said if. I am a firm believer that if the singularity can happen, it will. I think that that's the most likely outcome, but I also wouldn't put things in terms of absolutes because um, we have to survive to get there in order for that to happen. Only a Sith deals in absolutes. Embarrassing. Why did I say that? We just need to get on our boards and surf the wave. Exactly. And I think the wheel that I just was talking about, it's like that is a way to start getting ready to surf. Like I don't want to rely on a company to take advantage of automation. Like I want to be able to do that myself. I really think a lot about the crossover between like homesteading and autonomous systems. Like that will really change the game for where you can live, what you can do with that land once you have it. That'll be a good change to the equation of property and home ownership. I believe. What are these again? The gems on top, and then this is what? What is that? They want to get all our money and our souls. I think we're far ways away from worrying about you know something that level of technology. But we'll certainly have our own set of problems. Looking forward to discussing further discussion on this. Let me know if you work on the design more. I will. I am really excited about it, so I think I will at least get some feedback soon. Yeah, looking forward to that. I went to school for building computers. I can tell you electrons are amazing. The way your computer can use positive negative charge right from 0, 1 is unheard of. There was a lot of if. Not quite sure what you mean by if in this context, but like perhaps thinking power. All right. It's time to start loading these onto the UV map. In fact, I'm going to make a backup right now. Free loading UVs. And I'm going to sit down again. Enough standing. 30 minutes of standing is too much. Too much. I only get so many characters right. You said if quantum computers become a thing. Gotcha. I think quantum computers are already a thing. My only gripe with them is that they're not improving on the same power laws or same exponentials that AI and just standard computation are. Like, there's a lot of promise in quantum computing, but at the same time, I feel like the quality of computational increase that we're seeing in other areas. It's like, and they may in the long term, there may be like some sort of threshold to how useful quantum computing is. I hope that's not the case, but certainly other forms of computation are outpacing it currently. Like, especially AI. It's like, yeah, definitely AI. All right, putting all the messy things right there. Are these separate objects? What are these? Where are these? Oh, right, because I initially had it beveled. Gotcha. Interesting. You straighten. Okay, that's just a collar. It should be pretty small. Pants we can make bigger because we're going to put a cool design on them, and they're also second biggest object in the hat. Scroll's also quite large. We'll put these right here. That's the little vest. And this right here. Maybe we go ahead and do this. Make myself a little bit more flexible. Look at where quantum computing was 20 years ago to where it is today. See, there's hope. I understand these problems in cooling, but all it is going to take someone like Einstein. You know, the hope with AI is that we can just generate as many Einsteins as we want. So hopefully we see increases like that. So I think a lot of good will come out of that. Black Mirror series is a nice take. Has a nice take on the tech that is coming or already there. It's fascinating to see the implications. Yeah, I mean, odds of us being the same species in 100 years, kind of low. We'll look very as many variations as life itself. Honestly, I think it's going to make people more dumb. I mean, I think in the scope of things, that's a choice in that kind of world. If you, especially if you have the ability to upgrade yourself. I think there are people who don't want to, like, there's a term uplifting where you make like a often used in the context of like making chimps or dogs or dolphins more intelligent. And we're technically gonna, with AI, we can, with technology, we are basically doing that to ourselves already. You know, I think it's easy to point to problems in society, but also these are problems that other time periods wouldn't have had. And the level of like discussion and communication is, I think, pretty profound. I think it's very unlikely to become dumber. Yeah, well, and especially once it's a choice too. It's like, hey, you want to take these supplements, your brain just get bigger. Like your brain just get bigger. And you're like, oh, I will take big brain supplements. Nothing more stimulating to an economy than being able to come up with new uses of the resources we have. I think there's a lot of economic incentives to become smarter in a lot of different ways. And that we will become smarter. Just whether through our like somewhat basic cell phone independence. Oh, is that what I meant to say? Ooh. Anyway, it's exciting times, that's for sure. Change guaranteed. Looks like everything's roughly the right size to me. I think we'll go with this. Awesome. So save that. And that means that we're good. Everything's have been unwrapped. Awesome. Okay, we'll do one more backup copy, and we'll call this pre-displacement. Bam. Ah, we forgot the hair. It's a little bit more work to do. A little more UV mapping to do. It's like, am I ready for this? All right, retopo or do clothing, duplicate, Lorian, hair. Then in here, you're only going to need to know how to do any of this stuff. You can ask your AI to make it. Have you thought about Cheth? Have you thought about... In fact, Quantum AI is going to make the most powerful VR chat program you're ever going to need. But it's not going to be instant. It's not like we're not going to, as a society, we're not going to hit one point where suddenly all of those things are solved. Like, it'll probably take 10 to 50 years to really see the full repercussions of a technology like that. And then additionally, yeah, there's people, there are definitely elements in the world that won't want those changes to happen. Now you imagine you're some despot in some country that you're taking advantage of the people. It's like you really don't want them to have access to that, but you want it for yourself. Anyway, a lot of concerns there. So I don't think it'll be like a immediate, we blink and then everything's solved. I don't think that's how we've seen progress happen. Not only that, but I think you underestimate the ability we'll have to grow our own intelligence. Like us humans, human intellect coupled with AI more tightly, whether that's through a brain interface or just like really good communication, high bandwidth stuff. I mean, Neuralink is very interesting to look at right now. I should definitely check out their latest video. It scares me, lol. I think there's definitely a lot to be hesitant of. But that's also why I think it's important to start looking at these systems, especially autonomous systems, and understanding how we can use them to benefit people, benefit ourselves, benefit each other. Because it's only by like it's one thing to say that the singularity is going to happen, but it's another thing to go, how are we going to ensure a good outcome? Like, I think that just takes coordination and communication, planning. Asking AI, give me the best tools to become better and more wholesome and smarter. Exactly. And again, also in a literal sense, in the most like physical and literal sense, we probably will gain the ability to augment our personal intelligence. And the more smarts you have, the more you want smarts. I think. I believe. Who knows? Maybe there's a limit to how much you'd want, but for sure you got to be optimistic. Exactly. It's all about pragmatic optimism. There are a lot of these. A lot of hair strands here. But yeah, I think that what I'm excited by is that I personally believe that we won't have to rely on a company or a government to allow us to take advantage of these technologies. Like the way open source AI is going right now has me very excited, because like people are genuinely collaborating and like trying to figure things out, and that just raises the floor for everyone in terms of how we can benefit people, what the applications are. Um, you know, it's like, I think the question, if you really look at how the future is changing, it's like the question is not how is AI going to change the world? It's how are you going to use AI to change the world? uh, maybe that makes my perspective a little bit more clear. It's like not utilizing AI technology, I think at this point is just a choice, and for some that may be an important one to make. But anyway, I will stop ranting. I can go on, and I will, but not right now. Keep going. Do you want me? If you want me to continue talking, I'm happy to. But I can certainly indulge myself with ranting sometimes. But I will stop encouraging you to rant. All right. Well, we'll put a pin in it for now. Um, but I just encourage everyone to think about what you're going to do when you have the opportunity to use these technologies. Rant away, I say. Well, thank you, Zoom. And I will. And I will. I'll continue the vein in a little different direction. Um, I think it's a great time and to get positioned to start building little autonomous systems. Got stuff to do. These chats are keeping me in front of PC. Well, fair. I'm compelling you. Compulsion. Um, but like with how capable I see some of them right now, it's like before the year's out, you really could have a robot able to do some form of labor for you. Like you personally could, if you wanted to buy the parts, put it together, and team up with like open source uh, communities that are making things. And I do think it's important that we really start growing those communities. Just kidding, to keep going low. Oh, I will. I can tell you have a good optimistic opinion about it. Appreciate your opinion because I didn't think about how it's open source and other people are learning it and contributing it. Yeah, I think it's a little bit like when you think of nuclear energy. It's like there's a lot of uses for nuclear energy, but it's just not something we can do these large changes with in a casual sense. Like we have to be careful, but planning. Um, on the personal level, for like your own personal robots, I don't think you have to be super, super concerned because like if your only concern is building robots that are going to help you around the house, like clearly you're not going to generate a world destroying AI or whatever the fear is. Optimistic view: robots will end human slavery. I agree. I agree. So someone is like, what they say, like it's a very funny comment, but basically like it's like, oh, we can end employment as we know it, aka modern slavery. That's a very hot take. I'm mostly saying that facetiously, but um, certainly it will enable people to just get a very direct control on solving the problems they personally care about. That's cool. That's exciting. Whether that's developing your home, large infrastructure projects, uh, taking care of your family members, or something to that effect. It's like those things are well within reach, and we should start planning for them. It's really hard to talk about the singularity in AI because the conversation always gets drawn to much further down the line than we're at right now. Like people are like, oh, like just looking at what the potential ultimate end is. But I think the more pragmatic solution is to look at, well, what can we do this year to take advantage of it? Because that will become a more pertinent question. It's like, what can we do right now? Use the word I do not know. You said that how? I'm sorry. Which one? Which word? Optimus view robots will end human slavery. The secret ending we just get AI friends. Certainly, they will be very friendly. Very. Facetiously. Facetiously. I don't know how to spell it. I know how to say it. How do I spell it? Facetiously. Facetiously means in a way that is not serious, in an attempt to be funny or appear clever. And I'll paste the spelling there. Facetiously. Anyway, a lot of things to be excited about in the future. I just think that I don't want to roll over on the idea of how I want to take advantage of it. And I encourage people to do the same. Knowledge acquired. Download. Boop. My first concern would be finding some way to generalize, create a general platform for labor. And then after that, focus on brain interfaces. Because I think we're really lacking in brain interfaces right now. I'm pretty sure we could make some sort of ultrasound interface that would work quite well. It's basically non-aggressive sarcasm. Yeah, that's a good way to put it. Sarcasm light. It's an easy way to understand it. Thank you. Sorry for the gross burp there. Okay. Getting there. We're getting there. Oh, also another fun sci-fi project that I think about a lot in terms of what I want to do for the future as we get closer to a more advanced technology. Artificial muscles would be really fun to make either exoskeletons or androids for people. And I think like what I'm doing right now would be like kind of a direct translation into that, which excites me. I would love to be able to make like, even for, imagine like limb replacement and stuff. I don't know if you all ever played Deus Ex. What a name. Deus Ex. I want to learn how AI works, but I'm not there yet. I have learned how computers work down to Electron, and how to build them, but I am new to learning coding. I recently learned some coding in Visual Studio using Udon Sharp and trying to make worlds. Oh, good. Yeah, I like Udon Sharp. Well, one thing to leverage, you can use AI to further your understanding of how AI works. Also, there's all for that physical enhancements. Exactly. It's like we should be planning on how to get there. Like as a society, as a community, like especially as we all grow more capable with these AI skills, it's like, why don't we just turn our focus onto things we want and make those things happen? I want that. I want that thing. Um, we have to do it. We have to. Um, I saved a video recently that I think you'll like, Brian. If I can find my playlist here. Let's just go to history. Well, two interviews. This one's super interesting. Sorry, this one's very interesting. I'm gonna go ahead and post this in my Discord, the Singularity channel. And then the other one was my eyeball. Where is it? Here we go. So this is an intro to large language models, and it's by Andrej Karpathy, who's a pretty well-known guy in the field, and he breaks it down not into like a very technical conversation, but focusing much more on the general ideas of how these things work. And I think it's like really, really good to look at and kind of understand. So I'll paste that too. I should actually post that in the Singularity as well. AI's deep learning algorithmic software running on a really expensive computer. It would increase the quality of life for so many people in the world. Absolutely. And deep learning algorithms are quite easy to learn if you know how to code. People understand how crazy the implications are. I fully agree with how understated I think these changes are being discussed. Like, even with the simple little things we've made right now, given 10 years, we could turn just what we have. If we made no further advancements in the field in terms of like game-changing technology, like the major revolutions, we would still have enough to dramatically change how every single industry on the planet works. Like, I don't, why aren't we? This is like if cars were being invented. This is like if the airplane was being invented. Like the it is comparable to the Industrial Revolution. I'm trying to avoid using the word singularity because it really undermines our ability to discuss how we're actually going to utilize a lot of this stuff. Like, I prefer the let's do something with it angle. I'm not going to wait on Zuckerberg to tell me what the best use of it is. Most people just see Arnold crushing human skull. It's fair. All right, we're sitting down again. Up, down, up, down. Boom. All right. So close so far. Hair's probably almost always the longest part of of making a character. It's very consistently the most challenging. Sorry, I'm gonna talk about AI a little bit more. I learned something recently that I thought was super two things that I thought were very compelling about AI, about large language models. Um, First is apparently what I do know is computers use electrons with positive and negative charge. Electrons are slow compared to the speed of light. Mixed quantum entanglement. Quantum computers scare me. Um, Once computers are self-improving, they scare me. Like I'm only scared about AI once it has the ability to make its own hardware at the same time it's using it, and that seems quite a ways away. It's like if you have something in a closed system, like it's going to be pretty hard for it to just walk off a computer chip. Um, anyway, uh, so what's really interesting with a large language model, you can it trains on all this text data from the internet, and then usually, but you can show it a board game it's never seen before, um, tell it the rules of it, and then through question and answer, help have it draw you a its visualization of the board in the game you're playing. Like it shows spatial understanding, um, the ability to adapt to new rules, and like things like this. Like that. That's so interesting to me. I think that that feels like a very fundamental quality to intelligence, um, general intelligence. But um, I thought that was so interesting that it can actually like map out a board, not just not just respond to the queries, but that's cool. We need AI to help us keep the AI in line. The general plan that I think most companies are approaching is in order to get to super intelligence, make you make the AI that's going to make the AI, and they kind of scale themselves up. Um, there we go. Look at all that hair. Look at all that hair. All right. And then what we're going to do is align it island wise. AI only knows what information you give it access to, right? Well, it only it's like memory, right? It's not it's not comparable to knowledge because it can learn things. You can have it learn things. Like after you train it, you can continue to have it learn new things. And the other second thing that was really cool is when you train an AI on math problems, it gets better at understanding the number on how to track things, not just like outside of math problems, like to general logic and reasoning. So I think like it's pretty clear that there's far more than just regurgitation of the training data going on. It does actually genuinely learn. um, but I'm not quite sure if that's what your exact comment was. I watched how the AI learned to walk. It was an interesting process. Um, have you all seen the figures kind of coming out with a new robot? Humanoid. There's a lot of human. There are a ton of humanoid robots being worked on right now, like a pretty insane amount. Um, a lot. Um, a lot of people were concerned about like jobs disappearing, but I don't think they will because robots are going to be the biggest boost to the economy we've ever seen. Cute ones. There was one cute one. They Disney collaborated with Nvidia. Um, Project Groot. So these are all the hello moo to you, Evan. Welcome. These are all the robots that NVIDIA is working with, robotic companies, which is a kind of a cool lineup. And I think he also brings out this little cute one from Disney. And this is a real robot, by the way. This is not CGI. Old Man Flash, welcome. Welcome back. Hello. Pops in for the baking. But this is a straight up a real robot, by the way. It does walk kind of slow, but let me back up to them walking out. Does look CGI impressive. It does. It just has that quality, but I've seen the keynote. It's a good one. It's a good one. Lots of interesting stuff. Yeah, but I want to pet it. I think pets will be a really huge market for robots. Robot pets. Bigger than Pokemon. Or maybe it will be Pokemon. Who knows? Probably both. AI Pet's new product line. Want to be a real Pokemon trainer? We actually put a real flamethrower in Charizard. Are you suggesting we make them fight for entertainment, Sam? That is how you get Skynet. I would genuinely watch a robot fight. I would watch that. I would watch some Gundam v Gundam action. Wish I could organize these by size. That would be handy. Right. I actually should have just done. Oh, that sucks. I have to redistribute them. Let me look that up really quick. Blender distribute islands, UV islands. Interesting. We'll hold on to that for a moment. I still find the lore of Skynet so well done, the way it became a threat to humanity. Did a few Pokedex entries a sec. Yeah, no, thank you. All right, yeah, we have to do fit to bounds. I didn't want to do it, but it's the only way. I want to do this for islands. Unstack. Oh, there we go. Okay. Interesting. Perfect. Cool. I should organize the bangs into their own selection, their own group. The creators also of Good Humans vs. Robots movie. Agreed. I just saw an ad for that, and I was like, oh, that looks pretty good. I was my brother was showing me some like behind the scenes footage, and apparently they did not use mocap suits for any of the work in that movie. So it was all like post. It was all post production and for the robots, like all the pieces that they would add to the back of the head and stuff. Like there were no markers or suits on the actors while they were doing that. Pretty interesting. I wonder if they use that Wonder Studio tool. Oh, I guess I could have made them completely fill up the UV island. And then when I did the UDIM, then they would all be the exact same size. That's okay. I think VR chat would be a great platform to create movie. I 100% agree. 100% agree. That would be so cool. There's a lot of cool tools coming out in order to either record motion capture in VR chat or just record motion capture in VR. In fact, there's one called Mocap Fusion that lets you do multiplayer, so you can record motion capture with other people in VR at the same time. And that seems ripe for very interesting projects. I love making things. Get you excited to make things. Doesn't it get you excited? We'll go right about there. Some people have already done so. There's someone I follow on Twitter, Legend, I believe, and I believe that he makes a lot of um, animations or in like short movies and like fighting clips in VR chat. I always thought that was super cool. He has like a whole system for virtual choreography, which it's like such a fun idea that you can even do that at all. All right, there we go. That is some uniform hair. All right. Seen amazing short movies. Good. Oh, um, there's a lot of improv groups in there too. In VR chat. I need to do that more. Seems fun. I'm just gonna turn off that light for a little bit. Okay, I think we've UV mapped the hair. That took a good chunk of time just to do that hair. So hair mapped. Awesome. Awesome. Okay. Now, now the fun part. So we're gonna start reorganizing some of this stuff. I'm gonna take all the items from the teeth, put them into the body. Now we're gonna organize everything by material only. And then all the clothing items can go into here. Hair is its own thing. Eyes, so yeah, those are all the materials right there. So I can go like this, this. Easily access them. Good. Good. Now let's look at the sculpt hair. Now I think that I'd like to increase the quality of the normals on these a little bit. So slap on a subdivision. Can't apply vertex crease to all of them. Okay, so we'll combine them really quick. Wait. Okay. Blah, 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 blah. Let's call this sculpt hair bangs. So all of these go into this one. Then they all have a mirror mod, of course. Sculpt hair side. And lastly, sculpt hair middle. Okay. So we'll go ahead and combine these. Combine. Vertex crease. There we go. Now they're sharp again. Gotta go, Sam. Talk to you later. In case I don't come back, have a great weekend to everyone else, too. Sounds good, Sky. And BRB Zoom. See you later, Zoom. See you in a bit. But definitely enjoy your weekend, Sky, and we'll catch you Monday for more. Can't believe it's gonna be the weekend tomorrow. Wow. We turn up subdivision. Anime hair. Hello, Phantom Tales. Welcome. Yes, yes, indeed. We're working on some anime hair right now, or stylized hair. It's not an anime character, but similar. But welcome. Hope you're having a good day. Welcome to the stream. We're getting everything ready for baking. I'll do that. Edge loops, turn on bevel weight and crease. I can only do that for one at a time. That's so funny. Okay. Bevel weight. Let's separate by loose parts. Okay. So there we go. High quality normals. High quality H2O. Actually, I'm going to recombine everything again. Select a little tippy. Select similar, adjacent faces, equal, less. Yeah, okay. I'm just going to go grab them by hand because select doesn't work. Then vertex crease. Boom, make sure they're pointy. Nice. Okay, that looks good. There we go. Let me show you the full character, Phantom. So we've got quite a few different pieces going here. We basically got this kind of Jin imp character. Yeah, coming out super well. Very pleased with how he's looking. And we're going to be getting to baking today. Going to be trying to get to baking today. Lot to do. Lot to do. Always more to do, I think. All right, we're going to take the dagger. Make sure everything's set to transform 0 for all of them. And I'm going to move them. I'm going to move them forward. So, okay. Now everything's set to 0, but we can move it forward a little bit so it's not conflicting. I think that for, hey, Sixen, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the stream. Hello, hello. Hope you're having a good day, and welcome. Friday. Friday. The weekend. The weekend is upon us. Excuse me. I just wanted to reposition these really quick. Same with this one. Bam. All right. And that way, we can just make sure everything's spaced nicely. All right. Dagger done. Now onto the body. Take all the sculpt objects, move them into the body collection. This should be correct. Eyelashes. I don't think we have a Retopo version of the eyelashes yet, so duplicate, send this over to Retopo body. Okay, we just turn it down. Let's keep it there. All right. Select the island border. Okay. I just unwrap it. Bam. There we go. And then add it to our map here, UV map. Dude, you should sell characters in the Real Illusion store. They lack stylized characters badly. Oh, interesting. I actually didn't even think about that. I wonder if I'd have to format them differently, though. I appreciate this suggestion, though. I will actually look into that. More places for my products. I do have some characters for sale. I made a somewhat similar character about a month ago now. The one that keeps appearing on the right over here, this imp character. I'm interested to see what Real Illusion does once Epic starts pushing their metahumans more. What's I doing? We just set up the thing. Eyelashes. So we want to take all of these and hit Control A transform. So everything's set to 0 now. These guys can be turned up a little bit more. Yeah, I like them nice and sharp. Cool, that looks good. Then we'll turn on Retopo Body at the same time. Make sure absolutely everything's set to 0. This will be the position for the tail here. They lack decent render in iClone. I've seen, seems like there's a lot of games that are made. I actually saw someone make some sort of like movie or show on YouTube recently with Real Illusion characters. It's interesting to see how active that community is. A lot of it's like very corny, but it is cool to see the projects. Not judging, not judging. I mean, just no judgment there. But it's cool to see. I mean, I make characters for VR chat, and I'd be like the last one to judge. um, okay, so body is good to go. Sculpt's in the right position, body's in the right position. Nice. Let's do the hair. So I'll take both the hairs. Make sure transforms are zeroed out. And we're just going to kind of move them around. So here's the bangs. The goal will be to separate them nicely. Oh. I use it to an auto rig and animate, but export to Blender to render. Gotcha. I've seen a ton of like Reallusion ZBrush workflows, and those always seem quite promising. Um, it is nice to just have like a rig ready to go. Very, very capable base models. It's so funny that that one's so long. Right, but that's just the sculpture. It's not the. In fact, let me hide this really quick. I'm gonna switch the view to material, which means I should be able to give these a sculpt hair matte. Do red. It's pink. No, let's do blue. Copy that. Paste it on the viewport version. And copy to selected. Okay, that'll help me tell them apart. Great. I'm missing one. Sure looks like it. It's super windy today. I don't know if y'all can hear the wind in the window. That looks like a nightmare to rig. It's tedious. It's tedious. I can say that for sure. Um, Not too bad, but it takes time. Oh, duh, it's the tornado. Oh, there's a siren that goes off every now and then. And I'm like, why do they have like an air raid siren? I realized it's because of tornadoes. Obviously. Sorry, I'm talking about the town I live in. That's quite a jump there, I know. Just randomly started talking about Sean Triana. Hello, welcome. Are those hair pieces? Yes, they are. So we're getting the hair ready to bake just by kind of positioning everything um, in like an exploded view. We'll actually have two versions of this that we bake. One where they're tightly coupled in their original position, and then this one where they're um, missed one. Where's this guy? This one and this one? Yeah. Nonchalantly gets blown away with what's that noise? I mean, it is getting really windy outside. Oh, that's a tornado right there. All right, so here's all the middle pieces. And I do want them kind of close. Not like really close, but maybe enough to give a little bit of shadowing. Returna! Well, welcome back, Zoom. And then here. I'm just gonna try it. So I kind of liked pulling them out. That feels a little bit more natural to me. And like the ease of setting these things up. Do that it this way next time for the whole thing. Turn me into a little cupcake, basically. We need a Sam at a desk just being whipped around by a tornado, desk chair, and you all stay together somehow. Like a scene like that in that Ghibli movie where he makes the planes. It's like plucking feathers. It is. Yeah. Poor chickens. This character is my chicken. Lorian the chicken. Just kidding. Taunting Zoom. Taunt Zoom. Call me a wuss. All right, there we go. All right, nothing too crazy. It looks a lot weird. There's got to be some like automatic tool to do this, but I don't know. Stop plucking your chicken. Go on YouTube Live. Okay, now we're gonna do the clothing. Build the bear type of Abby. Looks quite crazy to me. Maybe in like, you know, actually is a little crazy. Oh wait, make single user, object data, control all transforms. Nothing looks like it's broken. My main worry right now are these chains. Wow, that's so cool looking. Okay. Specifically the sculpture chains. I think we just meshed the chain. We just meshed the chain. Yeah. I think so. I can always recover it later. Deleting this just allows me to dump all the objects into this one collection. These ones here. These ones. Mesh. Fine. Well, actually, no, I don't want to combine them. I don't want to do that. Okay. Chain meshes. Those can all go. Yeah. We'll go right there. Okay. So the hope is we've made things a little simpler. Um, I have to back up. I deleted the chain curves. I should have first meshed these ones. And I also need to do that for the retopo chains. Boom, mesh. Okay, there we go. Then I can delete this hierarchy. Bam. Cool. What is this? That's for the collar. Awesome. So everything's zeroed out. So now we should just be able to push things around and get them organized. All right. So we've got the bandana up there and then the gems. That should be some good spacing. We're going to take our cuffs. We'll select this and then put in mirror main, copy to selected. Yes, perfect. Okay. Yeah. All right, I like that. Then chains themselves should. Yep, I will. Yeah, I'm gonna leave it there. Yeah, that should be fine. Moving back a little bit though. Yeah. Jewel earring can go here. Pantaloons will move straight down. Yeah, actually, there doesn't need to be much space between these. Just enough. Just enough space. The dagger anklet, I'm definitely going to move forward. I just don't want the shadow from the... Oh, maybe for these ones. Leave those there. These guys. No way, Jose. All right. There we go. So now... Cool. Now I can hide the clothing. Or remove our selection from the clothing. Let me think about that. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, sorry. Let's turn on all the retopos now. Cool. And what we're going to do is add a triangulate. Boom. Keep normals. And we're actually going to that should work. Yeah, copy to selected. And then we'll add a duplicate. Or sorry, duplicate. Displace. That's what I want. Should work nicely. And then also copy the vertex group. Then transfer the displace. All right. This is how we're building our cage. Everything I just did in that moment right there was me getting ready to set up my cage. The triangulate here, and I'm copying these to all these items, any of the low poly items. The triangulate but to continue the explanation, the triangulate is in order to turn all the quads onto our character into triangles. Seems clear, but the reason we're doing this is because Substance Painter automatically triangulates your mesh for you. It doesn't say that it does it, doesn't tell you that it does, but when you bring a model into Substance Painter, it triangulates it using the fixed alternate method. And if you don't know it's doing that, and you bring your quad version into Unity, but the textures were made for the triangulated version, which they are in Substance, then there's a mismatch. And your textures will be very slightly distorted. It's subtle, but it very slightly distorted. So definitely important to keep your triangles set up correctly. And then the displace is what will turn on and off in order to create the cage. So we'll export the version with the displace on in order to export the cage version, and then we turn it off in order to export the low poly version. And you'll see why that is. Because in our retopo, we can go ahead and enter weight paint mode. And this, we're weight painting the displace group, and you can just hit it with some weights to start adjusting how well it fits over the sculpture. This is usually done a little bit better with a wireframe. All right, and then just hit Alt Q to switch to the next one, rinse and repeat. Boom, boom, boom. Bam. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Cool. We're just looking for any, basically we're trying to avoid this, where we get these little spots poking through. So we're just using the displace to get rid of those clips. Pretty straightforward. Hello, Zilla Diaz. Welcome. How's your day going? We're doing some, getting ready to bake some textures. Gorgeous. Nice, cleanly assembled. I like it. Now we'll do the next one. So we're going to do the body now. And it is just exactly the same thing. Making sure I can't select the sculpt. Go into weight paint mode. Boom. Boom. We just keep going. Simple, easy stuff. This one's facing the wrong way, which means probably that the sculpture is also facing the wrong way. So go in here. Shift N. Cool. All right, this one I'm gonna, the body I'll be a little bit take my time with this one because I do want this one to be as close as possible, as precise as possible. Especially the face and lips and toes and stuff. Any sort of crease or crevice. Like be intentional with how you're setting that up. Be intentional. Be intentional. Gorgeous. Wonderful. Powerful. Do, do, do. Oh, snap. Oh, no. Wait. Oh, I thought I was. Wait. I am missing. I'm confused. Why Does it look like this? Is there actually a gap? Oh, snap. Okay. Funny. I did not notice that. Let's get one more level of displacement. And the rest of the mouth looks good. Okay, awesome. Hello, Dr. Pipike. Welcome back. Nice to see you again. How's your day going? It is going really well. Just going slow, and about to start getting this character baked. Excuse me. So making good progress, and soon we'll have a textured character. Well, we'll have the beginnings of a textured character. That all looks really good. I don't see any spots that it's poking through, but I do see... What the heck happened? Somehow I separated all the different segments on the body. So I guess I need to do a cleanup, merge by distance. Looking great so far. Thank you. Thank you. How's your day going? What are you up to? I'm fine. Just hopped on YouTube. Well, good. Looking forward to the weekend. Almost there. good enough. No one's going to be able to see into the tip of the hat. Which I probably could delete if I wanted to. The scroll, we might have to redo some of the modeling of the retopology on. It's just a little different than some of the other stuff. I'll turn up the strength a little. So what are you making now? Is it a new character or a suggestion? This is a new character for Zoom. So this is Zoom's character, Lorian. And I'll show you the full character in just a moment. As soon as I get these. Get this one done. Actually, it's a little blown up at the moment, so I might have to show you in a little bit, but this is generally what the character looks like right here. Everything's exploded right now, so I might not have a good opportunity to show you the full character, but generally this is what he looks like. Actually, I have some reference images or some screenshots. Oh, I haven't taken screenshots in a while. Never mind. Yeah, so once I get a good chance to make some screenshots, I'll show it to you. Can't quite get that one to fill in. Right. Yeah, so right now this is the cage for the bake that we'll be doing. As soon as I can get this one to freaking come on. Come on. There we go. All right. I was struggling on that one for some reason. I think these need to be separated. Yeah. The chain. I may not actually export the chain like we see it here. Like we do just one link. So it's perfect. We'll do that in a second. Got to take this L, separate. Then we'll go to the sculpt clothing. Bam, bam, bam. Perfect. Already separate. That looks good. That looks like a reasonable thing. Yes. Powerful. Cool. I'm actually going to take these two items and isolate the selection, so it's a little bit easier to work on. All right. Good stuff. Should work really well. Missing one. Oh, who knows where that is? What is happening there? Who wants to do that? No. Interesting. Why does it want to do that? Whatever. Okay, so we still got a few more over here. Nope. Okay. I think we're good. For the sculpt clothing. It would be nice to have like some automatic function that just automatically match the viewport color to the base color. That would be nice. That'd be pretty easy to do. But I don't need to do that right now. I want to. I shouldn't. Okay, I think we're going to stop right here. We're just about to get ready for baking. We've done all the prep work I think we can do at the moment. We've got the whole character exploded and ready for painting. But I'm going to go get some lunch. So I think we'll call it here for the first stream of the day. For anyone new here, I do break my day into 2 streams. So we're ending the first one, and I'll be back for the second one in just a little bit. So definitely hit that follow and subscribe if you'd like to see more. All that jazz, standard promotional stuff. But I just want to say thank you all for hanging out with me. It is really fun to share what I'm doing, and I'm super excited for what we're going to do soon, do next. Finish this character, move on to some fun projects. Yeah, definitely reach out to me if you have any questions. I'll be back soon. And again, my workflow here, my live streams, I'll be organizing into a playlist that breaks down how I make my characters. So if you want to follow up, definitely check it out later. Enjoy your lunch. I will Zoom. Thank you. And I'll